The concept of Boargazm itself is hilarious. After all, this album puts an end to the trilogy composed by Apocalypse and The Baconing. In musical terms, what they present is a mixture of traditional death metal with touches of slam that doesn't impress as much in this album as the concept of the extraterrestrial pigs. Still, they manage to surprise with the melodies they unleash that will stick to your brain, like the middle section of the opener, Epsilon. Fans of slam might think they could be a little heavier, but they will still have reason to celebrate this album here.
Debut work from these Austrians that can surprise even the most skeptical about the label that mixes melodic death metal and metalcore. I must say that what you can hear here tends more to the more traditional side of death metal than the metalcore formula. It reminds us of proposals from the late 90s, when bands were trying to modernize their sound. This is an ambitious album that sees its ambition partly rewarded when it brings us an album with 16 tracks and that is made to be heard in its entirety, having interludes that bridge the gap from track to track. It may not be as memorable as it was intended to be, but it is undoubtedly a worthwhile debut.
Right from the title, the very outdated gamer in me was on alert, and when the Lumberghast sound presents itself within the electronic, industrial, it's not something that is such a surprise. What does come as a surprise is how effective it is, especially when metal runs so strongly through your veins. It could even serve as a soundtrack for any game, but even on its own, the atmospheres it creates are memorable. It lasts no more than 20 minutes, but it is enough for electronic music aficionados and those who have some sentimental connection with the compositions of a certain John Carpenter. If he had appeared a few decades later, the soundtracks to his films would be much in the same vein as what you can hear here.
After an excellent album in 2021, the Australians are back with this Chaos Divine, a work that brings the enthusiasm for heavy metal back to our attention, just as we needed it. If we were already more than aware of their qualities either instrumentally or for the excellent voice of Genevieve Rada, the way they continue to create great songs that use all these tools in the best way does not fail to impress. Far from sounding nostalgic, Temtris do not disown their metal roots, but neither do they try to pervert them in the name of greater acceptance in the modern scene, something that in itself sounds very exciting.